Well, this month marks 52 years of hip-hop, and this weekend the National Hip Hop Museum is honoring some of the artists who paved the way for today's biggest stars like Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Cardi B. They'll get their flowers at the National Hip Hop Honors. I got a chance to speak with museum founder Jeremy Beaver and DJ RBI about the event and DC's impact on the culture. Thank you very much for coming in. Good to see you again.
For sure.
Good to finally meet you in person.
Thanks for having us.
This sounds like a great event. Before we talk about that, let's talk a little bit about the museum itself. You know, a lot of folks have been through it over the last 5 years or so. Tell me about the founding of the museum and what made you want to do this?
Well, we saw a huge void in American culture that wasn't honoring what is considered largely the biggest export from America, culturally and musically. And we wanted to make an impact to archive and preserve the music and the culture so that there's a physical and tangible place that people can go and remember, reminisce, and have fun and interact with all of these amazing elements of hip hop.
Tell us about the National Hip Hop Honors. Who's going to be honored? What's that going to look like?
So the National Hip Hop Honors is something that we have been putting on every year, multiple times a year, for the last 6 years. And it allows us to really shed a light and put on a pedestal some of the most important and iconic pioneering members of this genre and culture. We're going to be honoring Kid and Play, Jungle Brothers, DJ Cool Red Alert, DJ Hollywood, Dana Dane, Sweet Tea, Antoinette, the one and only, amazingly prolific producer, Herbie Lovebug. To us as kids, these guys were superheroes.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so important that we're able to kind of give back to the people that influenced us.
I love that analogy. I've not thought about it that way. Yeah. So for the Hip Hop Honors event, is that open to the public?
Well, you need a ticket, so go to nationalhiphopmuseum.org. We have a few tickets left, and we're going to have an amazing partnership with the Woolly Mammoth Theater where it's being held. It's a really beautiful space, and we look forward to having you know, everyone who's a hip-hop fan, hip-hop fanatic, come on out and enjoy and meet all of their heroes.
That's incredible. You know, I got to show some of this stuff.
Do it.
Kid and Play, you know, for those who weren't around or remember, what have you, these guys were huge. I don't know how many other hip-hop artists had their own comic book, and you've got a number of them here that are on display. DJ RBI, you grew up here in Washington, and you know, when people think about Washington, they think about go-go music primarily. Did DC have any influence on hip-hop?
In many ways. Well, DC go-go and New York's hip-hop are kind of considered to be like cousins. A lot of the developments were happening around the same times in the 70s. By the time you get to the early 80s, there's a convergence. In New York, a lot of the break beats that they would use, some of those break beats would come from DC go-go artists like Chuck Brown's Bustin' Loose, Knock 'Em Out Sugar Ray by EU, Trouble Funk had a great record called Let's Get Small that wound up being the bed for KRS-One's Criminal Minded. So that's one of the ways the DJs would incorporate the breaks into their routines.
Hip hop really is the dominant cultural force right now. I mean, fashions, I mean, all kinds of things. It's been quite extraordinary to see how it's grown over the years.
You know, one thing about it too, Tony, is you don't have to be rich to do hip hop. That's one of the main things about it, you know? And it allows people freedom of expression. It really does. Globally, there are people that are expressing joy, they're expressing protest, and discovering new things just by being inspired to be an artist through hip hop.
Highly accessible art.
Accessible, very democratic.
Yeah.
And the National Hip Hop Awards take place this weekend.